Hello, I'm OK Savage. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. It's very nice to see you all. I don't know what that bit was. I'm going to cut that out. Anyway, we're taking a break from the regular format this week. And by the regular format, I mean the past, 3 videos. The creative journaling ones. And I'm calling that the regular format because I've been really, really enjoying doing the creative journaling videos. I haven't done one this week, but I'm probably going to keep making those, so I feel confident enough calling it the regular format now. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the bum at some point. I never make another one of those or something. But then again, I don't think that's going to happen because I'm enjoying making those. I'm enjoying the process of going through the different prompts and doing them and stuff. So today's video is going to be more of a ramble, and I'm actually going to be sorting out some laundry while I talk to you. I was going to say if that's alright. As though someone watching this would be able to in real time be like, oh yeah, that's chill, mate, go for it. I'll have done it whether it's alright or not. It's your choice whether you listen or not. That sounded so aggro. It wasn't meant to. I think I'm just tired. So anyway, I was meant to do the creative journaling video yesterday because I have sort of a slot of time scheduled out in the week when my kid is at an activity with her dad in the evening. And I use the free living room to get the video recorded. But then I didn't end up actually doing that because I'd planned to see someone in the evening, and it's not that the two clashed because I did actually, set that time aside. I'm trying to take it seriously and that's work time, so obviously I'm not going to plan something during it. But then when it came to it, I didn't end up doing it more because of how I was feeling at the time. Because it was the thing of the person who I was hanging out with is someone who's really cool, but I didn't know them particularly well. We weren't friends. And it's that thing of I find as someone who can be a bit kind of socially awkward and socially anxious, there's always that kind of anxiety around going and meeting up with someone to hang out before you're at the stage where you're super comfortable with each other. So yeah, I kind of spent a lot of the day being like, don't know what that was. That's my noise to exemplify anxiety, I guess. Not that I wasn't looking forward to it as well. I was, but you can be really excited for something and be anxious. And in fact, I don't know about other people, but for me, often when I am really excited about something, I'm anxious about it. The two kind of go hand in hand. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. They're both. Oh, my light went off. It kind of makes sense. They're both sort of high intensity states, and if you're worked up, it's sort of it's a small jump to be worked up in a different direction. You know what I mean? So I had this happening after the time when I was supposed to do the YouTube video. So when it came time to do the YouTube video, I was kind of in the state where I'd already been a little bit stressed out throughout the day. And when I was sort of left to my own devices to work on this, I sort of went into waiting mode a bit, which is a thing where when you've got something that feels big to you happening later, it feels almost impossible to do any tasks or focus a lot of kind of mental energy on something before that thing has happened. I struggle quite a lot with going into waiting mode with stuff. It's something that I find happens quite a lot. Doctor's appointments are the worst for that. Oh my god. Whenever they ask me, do I want an appointment in the morning or the afternoon, I'm like, the morning, because if you give me it in the afternoon, I'm gonna get nothing done all day. I was gonna try and push through that, though, and do a creative art journaling prompt. But I got ready, I sat down with the phone in the tripod and was about to start it up. And I just checked in with myself. I was like, how do I feel about this right now? And I kind of came to the conclusion of not good. I don't feel good about this right now. And the creative art journaling prompt technique video things, I know I've only done a few of them, but they've been really fun for me up until that point, and I've felt really good about it. I've been looking forward to sitting down and doing it. Whereas yesterday, I sat down to do it and I felt really cruddy about it and really anxious about it. And I just thought, if I feel like that right now, I know it's not to do with that. I know it's because of something else. Where was I? Rambling so much. Yeah, so I understood that the stress that I was feeling was not about making the creative art journal prompt video. But because of the stress I was already feeling, then I was feeling stressed about that and anxious, sort of projecting that onto the creative art journaling prompt. And I wasn't feeling good about it. And I was feeling really like, ooh, I don't want to be on camera. I don't know what I'll say. I don't know what I'll do. I'm going to get interrupted by something. It's going to sort of a lot of anxious thoughts going on. I feel like the anxious thoughts were my brain trying to explain the bodily anxiety that I was feeling whilst going to do this thing. And it's like, the two weren't connected because the anxiety was about something else. But, you know, it's amazing how you'll justify stuff in your head given half a chance. But, you know, I could tell that that's what I was doing and that I didn't actually feel that way about the creative art journaling prompt video. But I thought if I am feeling that way right now about it, I'm not going to do it, because then I'm going to associate that with that feeling. Because if I'm sitting doing something by myself, it's not like when you feel anxious about going out and then you get there and you interact with someone and you have a nice interaction that makes you feel like, oh, I got over that. And then, you know, maybe you're still anxious next time, or maybe you're a little less anxious. It's like, if you're doing something by yourself, it's a lot harder to get over that hump of anxiety, I find, at least. It's easy to get deeper into it, if anything, when you're doing like a solo activity, especially one that is kind of rife with opportunities for anxiety anyway, which obviously making YouTube videos is. So yeah, I just decided, hey, why don't I be flexible about this? Why don't I put this down for tonight? It's not a good idea right now, and I will just record it another night. I got really antsy about that because I was sort of like, oh, but this is just an excuse. This is how it leads into me not doing it and not releasing the video again for ages and not sticking to my to-do lists and, you know, making it bigger than it was, dramatizing. And I had to really sit with myself and be like, that's not what it is. It's me being flexible and saying, now there is something else going on that is making this difficult. I will do it when it is easier, because there's no need to do it right now when it is so difficult. And honestly, I'm really, really glad that I made that decision, because what I did instead is I set off early and I went to the place where I was meeting my friend, and I just sat and drew, and I got a time lapse of the drawing, which is what I'm showing you on the screen. Hopefully, remember that, future editing me. But yeah, I went and I did a cool digital drawing, and I got a time lapse of it, and, you know, was early, which was nice and weird for me because I'm kind of perpetually late to everything. And it still felt like I'd worked towards making a YouTube video, but I'd done it in a very different way, one that I felt like I could do at the time that didn't involve talking and being on the camera. On top of that, was actively calming because I was sitting drawing, which is a soothing activity for me. And it just made me think, like, the reason I wanted to talk about this is it made me realize that it's so important to be flexible, especially when it comes to your creative stuff. If you're someone else who does like creative stuff, or you're self-employed, or, you know, even when it comes to just managing, I don't know, like household chores or personal stuff or whatever, being flexible with yourself is, I mean, obviously being flexible with other people is really important, but also extend that to yourself. Be flexible with yourself. It's like if a friend turned around to you and was like, I'm really sorry, I can't do tonight. I'm having a really weird time. I don't feel up to it. You wouldn't be arsey with them about that. You'd be like, oh no, I'm really sorry to hear that. Do you want to talk about it? Of course, let's reschedule, you know, like, is there anything I can do to help? But then if you feel yourself that you can't do something because of kind of your mental state or whatever, it's very tempting to just be like, oh, well, no, I must do it because I've said I'll do it. Or to ignore it and then feel really, really, really bad about it, which is kind of the other extreme, where it's just like, oh, well, I feel bad about it, so I just won't do it, and then I'll ignore it. But you're not really ignoring it because it's tickling the back of your brain, and it's like, it doesn't help anything. So I think the lesson that I've kind of learned from this week is talk to yourself like a friend and have that same sort of flexible nature of like, yes, that's okay. We don't have to do this right now. Let's reschedule. But is there anything I can do to help? Is there anything that would make you feel better? And for me, the thing that made me feel better was doing a bit of work towards creating a video. I knew that at the end of that drawing, I wouldn't have a finished amount of footage for my video, but also I knew that I'd have something towards it, not nothing towards it. And I think knowing that is the thing that made me feel better. I mean, it kind of ties in with what I was saying in a previous video about being compassionate with yourself and working things through with logic and everything, but I think definitely flexibility as well really ties into that and really complements those things. Being like, no, you do not have to do the thing right now, but A, when are you going to do the thing? When are we rescheduling it for? B, you know, what can I do to make the situation better? I mean, yeah, that's really all I had to say. I felt like I learned a bit of a life lesson and a better way to deal with myself and my own stuff, and so I wanted to pass that on in case it helps anyone else to hear that. Thanks so much for watching, and as usual, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could have been watching it a week ago on Patreon, so check that out. There's a lot of other cool stuff on there. A big thank you to my Patreon subscribers. You help me a lot. Yeah, don't really have anything else, so have a good one.